If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. Taylor almost made me laugh through that one. That was good. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing a special What Monday here at the Dusty Wheel to officially celebrate the wrapping of Season 1 production of the Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime TV show and the fact that Season 2 was greenlit. But before we do that, I want to remind you that you should show back up here on Wednesday for our normal episode that we have every Watt Wednesday, where we're talking about Rosamund Pike and becoming Moiraine with Rebecca from Reading the Pattern and Marcel, who many of you know from the Watt Parody Challenge. And then the following Sunday, we're going to be back talking about Watt on Prime. That's right, the Wheel of Time off-scene screens that we like the most from The Eye of the World and The Great Hunt, and which of those we believe should show up in the TV show. So make sure you're here for both those episodes, but that's not why you're here tonight. We're here to celebrate. That's right, we're going to have some fun, give away some mugs, some t-shirts, open the call lines, just do some fun stuff tonight. So without further ado, let me welcome my two guests for the evening, Mary and Joe. How you both doing?
Hello.
I know how you're doing. You're doing really good. I like that.
Really,
You both eased into that one, right?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I looked for sunglasses, and I don't think I found any. So
Wow.
the three of us would have been there. Yeah, I know. Well, those of you that don't know, Mary, my good friend, Frenzy from Theoryland, and this is Joe from the Talk Around Riyadh podcast. They've been guests here many, many, many times at this point. We should probably tally those, right, Joe? I should find out. Like, you need to be able to come on like Saturday Night Live and be like, "This is my 15th appearance."
Yeah, we need to have like a 5-timers club like they did on Saturday Night Live. I'm sure
Right,
Mary's
right.
probably like a 20-timer, if not more, right?
Yeah. We gotta, and then you need to have like the T-shirt that comes with it or something like that, right? So, I know people are probably wondering, why are we doing this? Okay, maybe not the people that are here. But let's remind everybody what just happened last week on a Thursday. Yes, not on Watt Wednesday or Watt Monday, on a Watt Thursday. Rafe said he was going to go do a 30-minute Wheel of Time Q&A on my Instagram stories in about 15 minutes to celebrate the official Greenlight for Season 2 of Wheel of Time. Also, it's happy hour in Prague, so now's your chance to trick me into saying too much at the Wheel of Time. Yeah, and that came from the reason why that showed up on Thursday. Well, I don't know. They probably planned this the entire time. The tweeter of chaos caused a little chaos the day before by giving us this little screenshot, if you all remember, of episode 201, A Taste of Solitude, which happens to be, I think, a chapter title in Lord of Chaos, thankfully dispelling this idea that that somehow these are serial and we need to care about them in that way. So that is what came about. Yes, the end of season 1 production. I mean, well, obviously principal photography. They're still working on, I'm sure everything else, all the editing side of this to get this show to us. Joe, what was your overall? I mean, I know you guys ran a little show on Friday afterwards. What's your feeling today? Are you moving on to season 2? Are you done with season 1?
I've already started thinking about season 2 for sure, especially since we got that little clip or that little tidbit about a possible Elaine casting calls. And so I'm excited about all these new cast members that we're going to see. So we need something to do while we wait for the trailer to come out. And from Rafe's Q&A recently, it sounds like we might not be getting a trailer anytime soon.
Yeah, I was kind of concerned about that. But is season 1 kind of dead to you then? You're like, season 1's done.
No, of course not.
So is that who you thought it was? Is that who you thought it was, Elaine, when Rafe brought up that question or answered that, and he's most looking forward to a character that's not showing up in season 1, that's showing up in season 2, and that character's name begins with an EL? Is that where you're at? Elaine,
I think so. I mean, I don't know who. I mean, there's a lot of other people. I started going through the character list, and there's probably about 30 people with the EL at the beginning of their name. But I mean, the only other big ones that I can think of are Elida and Elias, and that's about it.
Yeah, how long did he work on that one? Like, I am a total believer. Miss Sarah James pointed this out in chat. I'm a total believer that EL could be L, as in pronunciate the EL, and that's Lanfear. But I feel like he had this one in his pocket, like because there's so many characters: Elias, Elida, Elaine here. Does anyone in chat? I'm kind of curious. Those in chat right now. Does anyone not believe it's Elaine? If you believe it's Elaine, thumbs up. If you don't, you believe it's somebody else, thumbs down. It seems like that's the simplest answer. It's Elaine, But I kind of have. I'm holding on for hope. Is that what you think, Mary? Are you an Elaine fan for this answer, or do you think it's something else? Do you think he was being coy?
I think he was being coy. I kind of hope it is Lanfear, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think, adding some more evil to the pot, always fun, always a good thing.
Yeah.
But because Elias was cast already, wasn't he?
No, we don't. We don't know if we're getting an Elias. It doesn't. Okay. I mean, considering all the work that's been done by Watt series and by so many others,
right.
Narg, for example, looking in and trying to figure out what is going to be in this season. No one's. You'd think Elias, we would have found that, but who knows?
If they're bringing wolves in the first season and not Elias, that kind of indicates maybe we're not getting Elias.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even get we didn't even know about Lead Warder apparently.
That's right.
Recently, WattSeries.com. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out WattSeries.com. Actually, Rob Christensen from Weekly Wheel News noted on I think it was the IMDb page that there was someone else listed as Lead Warder apparently. So yeah, I'm seeing what's interesting about this poll here. I'm seeing some. Actually, this is more mixed than I thought. I think people are playing. I think people think that Rafe is going to be a little bit coy about what he's saying here. Shortly, we'll have Taylor. By the way, if you're here watching this right now, we are going to do some giveaways. That was basically, this episode is an excuse for me to give you mugs and T-shirts. That's what this is. And I just want to kind of commemorate this moment, right? Like, we've been talking about this stuff for a couple years now. If you were back there, and when I say there, if you were back watching this in 2018, watching Rafe's Twitter account, you would have seen this one, which was us making fun of this just today. That Rafe was saying, "Let's make Monday Wheel of Time Day." This was on July 23rd, 2018, and showing the name of episode 101, Leave Taking, written by Rafe Judkins. And I think it was just a week or two before this, he had basically announced to the Wheel of Time world that he was doing this, right? That this was on. I'm kind of curious, did either of you remember that like seeing that first script come out and Rafe starting to tweet things? Were you seeing that, Mary, back then? Or when did you start noticing stuff about the Wheel of Time show?
I noticed it when other people started noticing it. I wasn't following it to begin with. But, when I saw it, I started to get a little bit excited that, we've been fan casting for decades. We've been talking about, a live adaptation of the Wheel of Time since forever. And to actually see it might actually happen. I had mixed feelings about the whole thing, just because I've been a fan of the series for so long. I knew, if it was going to be done, I just hoped it would be done well. I didn't want to see a poor adaptation of it. And I knew that, it starts up the whole, how do you condense a 14.5 book series, one of the largest books series written in the English language, that is so super dense with literal multiple thousands of characters, named characters and then unnamed characters. How do you squish that even into a television series without losing some of the fundamentals? And I still have that question, but as more announcements came, I started to get a little bit more excited and go, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. And I'm going to go into it with, open eyes and really no expectations other than a hope that it's good. And
I was going to say that's a good way to put it, which is a lot of us have been watching this since 2018. Mm-hmm. I think we just talked about it with Joe right before the show began, and anyway, thanks Arun for subscribing to the channel. Joe, as we were mentioning this before the show began, you started noticing this in like 2019, basically, when Rosamund was selected.
Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing that they were making it. They were, Amazon and Sony had optioned it or whatever to do a show, and it was, when that happens, it doesn't necessarily, you don't know when that's going to happen. It's just, because that I don't know how many times that the rights had changed hands at that point, but
there was a lot of drama associated with the rights as well for many years. So
and it happens with a lot of shows and like a lot of properties, that they get bought by some studio and then they sit on them. So I had no idea, and I didn't know Rafe Judkins, that he was the showrunner. I didn't know anything about him, so I really wasn't following it too much until probably maybe early 2019 when it started to kind of pick up steam a bit. And then when they announced the casting of Rosamund Pike as Moraine is when I was like, all right, this is real. They're doing it. It looks like they're doing it right. They got Rosamund Pike. And that's when I started really getting excited.
Yeah, I think I forget sometimes that some fans are just finding out there's even a show. And we've been kind of, like you said, Mary, we've been dealing with this for a very long time. And not only that, between the three of us, we've been tracking this stuff really closely for the last 2 years, and we're used to the idea of there being changes and all these other things. And so I sometimes have less patience for the comments from fans that are just finding out than I should.
I have very little patience.
I should have more, right? Because maybe the first time I ran into some stuff that's happening, I would have a moment, or two. So I'm seeing people bring up Rosamund Pike. Before we jump into that, I want to talk about casting, obviously. So, but while we have Taylor here with us, why don't we have Taylor throw the giveaway into the chat here. If you're watching this anywhere else, on Twitch, Facebook, on Twitter, and you want to be part of the giveaway for a t-shirt and a mug here at the Dusty Wheel, it's going to be one or the other. We're going to do a bunch of them, honestly. I think if you stick around, by the end of the show, we'll probably give away 5 or 6 of these things total. But for the next half an hour, we'll collect people that want to join that raffle. You'll see that show up in chat. You have to be over here on YouTube chat to be part of this. And then we'll just start giving away stuff because that's going to be fun. I'll show you what some of the t-shirts might look like. Honestly, I'll customize something, different if you're not a fan of some of the ones I've come up with already. They're fun. I like throwing these things together. So, yeah, please do like and subscribe while you're here. We'd love to have you following our live show all the way through the release of season 1. We can't wait to do those shows. But let's jump back to casting. And like I said, you should see the giveaway show up here in chat shortly. Let's jump back to casting. Rosamund Pike. Everyone brings up Rosamund Pike. So I want to ask you both: is that your favorite cast choice that you've had this entire time? We've seen leaked ones, we've seen official ones. Joe, is Rosamund still your favorite?
Yeah, I think so. I when I first saw it, I was amazed. I was like, oh my God, they got her spot on. That's perfect. I wasn't even, way back, when I was reading the series back in the early 2000s, I would go on websites and look at fan castings and try to imagine who would be who. And I'd stopped doing that for a while. But when they brought up that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, she's perfect. She is Moraine. She's got the perfect actress to play her. I was 100% on board. That's what really got me super excited. I don't know if there's anyone else that's been cast since then that got me really excited. A lot of the actors and actresses since then haven't been as really big of names. I mean, she's clearly the biggest name besides, I guess, Alvaro Morte, but I didn't know who he was at the time. So, yeah.
Well, I can think of one. Let me show this one for viewers right now, and then Mary, I'll get yours. One of them was Michael McElhatton,
Yes.
who people picked out might have been at the table read. We'll watch that table read in just a moment, but this is it's just a funny thing that Taylor and I did back in the day. If you never saw this, well, enjoy. We figured out it was Michael McElhatton because of his ear. That's right. We were really, really geeky and found like a position of Michael's head in a picture in a video. It was actually a video I found, and I literally took screenshots of the video as it turned to get like just the right amount of turn to his face. And those ears, I'm telling you right now, those ears matched.
Well, they say the ear is just as good as a fingerprint. Like no two people have the same ear.
Oh yeah. We've verified that. It was just a really funny thing. People had mentioned Michael McElhatton, it likely being him because of his. I want to say he had like what was it, like some type of
A bracelet?
like a bracelet. Thank you. Yeah, it was like some wrist. I can't remember.
That was WattSeries.com who found that one, the bracelet.
Yeah, so it's the bracelet, and I was like, okay, the bracelet makes this look like it's obvious, but we wanted to make it for sure, 100%. And I just saw Rajesh say, "This is the unblurr's first steps." Yes, yes, those were the first steps into unblurring.
And by the way, the guy in the background, I know it's not him, but if you watch the show Veep, that looks like the guy from Veep. He was also in Role Models.
Oh, was he? Okay.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that looks like him. It's not him, but it does.
Well, so Mary, I want to know so far favorite cast member, and for those of you in chat, I'd love to see you. As I'm seeing all of you are entering the raffle, please do enter the raffle for your Dusty swag if you haven't. And it's great having Chess just subscribe. Thank you for being here. So Mary, when it comes to this casting, what have you liked, or who have you liked the most so far?
Well, I come at it from a different perspective because
Okay.
I have to admit I don't really watch much media anymore.
Okay.
I'm usually
Yeah.
just reading or playing video games. So I can tell you all about voice actors, but not on-screen actors. So I wasn't really jazzed about any, like, oh my God, about any of the choices. The one that I really started to geek out about was the director, Sally Richardson, when she was cast. She was picked to be one of the directors, because I'm a huge fan of her voice work over the years and her television work, and so I fangirled a little bit about that. And but with that in mind, the one that really made me sit up and go, oh, this is for real and this is serious, was Zoe Robbins as Nynaeve. And
Nice.
I'm like, that's a bold choice, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Just looking at her production still, or her face shot, and just was like, that's totally Nynaeve. You could see it in her eyes, just the strength and the passion. And it's just like I said, I felt a very bold choice for the production. And then we saw other choices that came up, Yosha and Marcus, and it was just one after the other, and Barney. And I'm like, these are I don't know who these folks are, and I got to learn more about their work, especially Madeline Madden, because I participated on the Becoming Egwene show that you did on Dusty Wheel, and just reviewing her work. And I'm like, oh, she is good. This is good. This is really good. She has that youthful snark that is going to either be, absolutely adorable or absolutely grating, or both, which is perfect for Egwene.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones. I mean, for me, Barney Harris really kind of look. Rosamund Pike was amazing, and when she got picked, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. But I think there was something about Barney Harris, and maybe it was just because the summer of Barney. It might have been the summer of Barney which really got me there. I think, but I think he was one of the ones that really kind of was like, oh yeah, like cannot wait. And again, maybe because Matt was one of my favorite characters growing up, so I was just excited to see who was going to play that character, if you will.
And then the other one that really kind of struck me is, and this casting happened after we started our live adaptations, was when they cast Hamad Animashan as Loyal, because I had already written out the Ogier, saying that they were going to cut the Ogier for cost.
That's right.
Because it was just going to be a CGI nightmare, and you could, in theory, cut out all the Ogier without, impacting the story too terribly much. And it was at that first point of, okay, what are some of those big cuts that they are going to have to make when they are adapting the show to the screen format? And the fact that they cast Loyal, I don't mind being wrong. Bold move on their part to keep that when it could so easily be removed. So
I know it, and because we obviously went down that road a little bit of maybe removing it. And so thank you very much. By the way, I think Ro the Hated just joined us over here at the Dusty Wheel. Thank you, Ro. And Miss Sarah James, thank you for that tip. Miss Sarah James just dropped a tip and said, for a new wheel for random questions nights. We were just talking about that, spinning the wheel.
The wheel of game time.
We'll look into a new wheel. If you don't know what that means, you're watching this right now, just go watch one of our game nights. You'll figure it out. So, while we're here, I think it's a good time to show. I want to show the table read. This was one of the big moments, I think, from 2019. After everything, right? We had Rosamund, the EF5 had been picked. We had gotten then Michael McElhatton. We had gotten all sorts of Alvaro Morte. I think we even knew by then. And then we saw this table read, and this was probably, you go both correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like this was like one of the biggest moments of hype among fandom for this show in 2000, like even over the last 3 years.
I think it's probably still one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here it is. Enjoy once again.
So, The Wheel of Time, Season 1, Episode 1.
You go back, you give them a way to follow us. I can't allow that. Crossing that river would be foolish, and you are not a fool.
Come on, do you really think she's any better than what's chasing us?
Of course I do.
Till then, though, the lady does shoot fireballs, so let's try and stay on her good side, eh?
And off this, we smash to black at the end of the episode.
Okay, so one of the most, or I think so much came out of this one, and I want to kind of dig into the table a little bit. People freaked out when Matt was like, wait, he has that, or Barney has that line where he says something about more rain and fireballs. I remember fireballs being this like really big controversial thing.
Yeah.
And then I also remember seeing, or that came out of this, Smash to Black was thing that ended up as like the way we close the show after seeing this. We started using Smash to Black. I've had people ask me to try to unblur scripts from this video many times, and I just want to say the resolution's not good enough for that to happen. I'm sorry. And yeah, that's where was it Geeky Yeri, Joe, that actually built out, or was Watt Series group in general, built out the whole like table configuration?
I think that was Geeky Yeri who did it.
Geeky Yeri?
Pretty sure, yeah.
So Geeky Yeri is the best. If you don't know who Geeky Yeri is, she has a channel, and you should need to check that out. I'll try to put that in the description of this video afterwards. Literally, we drew out, or Geeky Yeri put together a diagram and started like marking the names of who we knew and who we didn't know. And I think we figured out the entire diagram, I think, over time.
Yes, Twitter of Time came up big on that one because it was just basically like posting it, and people, I think we were just saying before, like the final person who was the most toughest one to get, there was one person who stood out for a while that nobody could figure out. I would refer to him as Hoodie Guy, and it wound up somebody finally picked him out as Michael Tuaheen, who wound up being Bran Alvear.
Buff Bran. That's right.
Buff Bran, yeah.
Buff Bran. No one. What's really funny about that, everyone's like, yeah, but he's not as trustworthy, but no one's really complaining.
Maybe he'll wear a fat suit. Who knows?
Hey, welcome Rod and Mary to the Dusty Wheel. Thank you very much for subscribing. So about this table read, Mary, was there something that stuck out to you, something you remember most when this came out?
Just listening to Rosamund say, if you cross this river, you'll be, or you get on this boat, you'll be a fool. It would be foolish, and you're not a fool. And it's just like, oh, ooh, chills.
Yeah, I remember being like, "Ooh, look, Zoe and Daniel Henney are sitting next to each other."
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, this one still works. You still can go back and watch it.
Who's that sitting next to Perrin? Who was that?
I know.
Oh God, yes.
We work so hard to, and I shouldn't say, I don't feel like I work nearly as hard as probably Geeky Area and others did, but yeah, Twitter Time really rocked it to figure out who those people were. In fact, are there any in that group that have not been officially announced? Oh yeah, I don't think Helena Westerman has been officially announced, right? Isn't she in that one? She's in there, right?
Yep, she's next to Perrin.
There are people. Oh, is that the one you bring up next to Perrin?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that. So, by the way, this is a live call-in talk show. I'll open the lines now. We'll weave you into the conversation tonight. We might not get to all the calls, and I apologize in advance. But yeah, that's part of this fun, right? Give us a call. Tell us your thoughts over the last 3 years, if you've been tracking it that long, since Rafe started giving us information about this. Just kind of curious what your thoughts are. Where are you at right now mentally with the fact that we are, we've got to be, I would say it's got to be in 2021. I feel like there's no doubt. I feel like I have very little doubt we're going to 2022. So we're in the year, within the last 7 months before, at the very most, when we actually have the season 1. So yeah. I'd love to get your calls. Jump on in with us here. And thank you to the innkeeper's wife for always taking the calls. That's a lot of fun. So I did want to show this for some of you out there that have not or were not tracking Rafe's account early on. He did start posting. This is like one of the common things he did was he would post the kind of script page, or the top script page of episodes. Unfortunately, that ended, at least the ones he was posting, at episode 4 or 104 here, The Dragon Reborn. So yeah, you can look at these. We have Leave Taking, Shadows Waiting, A Place of Safety, and The Dragon Reborn. That was a lot of fun. And then I think he just ran out of time to do that because he actually got into producing the show, and giving us the script covers each time is a bit much. But do any of these, and then we eventually got Blood Calls Blood. And what was episode 6? Remind me. Flame of Tarvalon. So, 0403 Mag, thank you very much for subscribing. So, of that, Joe, when it comes to those 6 that we know, at least in season 1, are any of these more exciting to you than others?
I think those last two for sure, because I think it was 5 is the Flame of Tarvalon and 6 was Blood Calls Blood, and people immediately, the Flame of Tarvalon is the Amerlin, right? Are we gonna get Swan in season 1? And Blood Calls Blood, right? These are chapters from The Great Hunt, and I remember that started a whole at least month or two or even longer of people being like, are they going to put both 2 books in the first season? Is it going to be The Eye of the World and The Great Hunt? Nablus did the whole video of how they could do that, which was very, very good and convincing. Go check that out. And I still think that's possible, although I don't think they're going to do it because there's a lot you can fit in an hour of television. But I think that was that set off that whole chain of events for that period of time. And everybody was talking about that. How far are they going? Are they going to cram 2 books into one season, and it was very exciting. It did kind of confuse everybody because now everybody was thinking chapter titles are actually meaning something for the episode titles. Right. And I think when we finally got this final season 2 episode 1 chapter title, I think we finally can dispel the whole theory that the chapter titles are really significant or related to the actual chapters in the books.
Yeah, exactly. No, I absolutely agree with that. Which does, if you were not watching during this time among fandom, these are the things that went on, right? That's what I wanted to talk about tonight, was just how many of these moments were there? There were so many where all of a sudden everyone was like, maybe we're getting 2 books in one, and how would you do that? And we were talking ad nauseum just about all the different ideas of cut and what would you keep and where would you go to the very end. And yeah, it was it was a lot of fun. Mary, any specific one that stands out to you from at least the episodes we know of their titles that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Flame of Tarvalon. I want to see, do not underestimate the women of this tower, and I want to see just how badass the Aes Sedai are and how they're going to be portrayed, because throughout the books the thread of distrust is strong, and outright prejudice against channeling is the basis of so many cultures in the Wheel of Time. I'm curious to see how they're going to play it. I have no idea. I'm excited about it. And Swan's one of my favorite characters in the series. Mm-hmm. So to see her interactions with Moiraine, especially when we got the casting news that they were trying to cast a young Swan. Mm-hmm. So some flashbacks might be involved. I love flashbacks. They just add so much depth in a short amount of time. So that one, and then of course, who doesn't like Blood Calls Blood?
I know. I was like, that one.
We spent years talking prophecy, and are we going to get those threads of this is all the prophetic parts of the Wheel of Time, and there are so many different. There's dreams, there's foretellings, there's prophecies, and how are they going to do that without it being cheesy?
This is all true. And Blood Calls Blood has to be one that's. We want to know how they're using that title. At least right. I do. I'm like, I feel like a direct connection to maybe what we think that is. Maybe seems unlikely, but I feel like Shadow's Waiting has to be my favorite that I'm waiting for. Right, mm-hmm. I'm waiting. I want to get to Shadow Logoth. I want to know how they're going to handle that. I want to see that because it's going to tip the show a bit dark, and Rafe's already said that was one of the fun moments that happened. Rafe, jumping live chat bomb here, showing up and asking a question and basically confirming that it was going to be pretty dark. So that was really cool. Yeah, that was.
You think that'll be the second episode or the first?
Shadow Logoth, I think it's the second for sure. Yeah. When I say I think, I feel like I know because of the Brandon, the Brandon picture, right? They don't get to the bridge scene until episode 2, right? Like I thought that was from the metadata that came from the image. So Shadow Logoth has to happen after that. So
yes,
that's. So I think, and I'm like, no, we're too close to this material to think at this point. Like some of it we're like really sure about. Okay, we have a ton of people queuing up here. I love it. It's going to be a night of everyone joining us here and giving us their ideas. We have a lot to talk about still. Please do join the raffle. Jump over here if you're seeing this on Facebook and on Twitch and on Twitter. Jump into live chat on YouTube. Subscribe. Yeah, I saw a note. Thank you for all of you who have been subscribing while we've been here live. It's been awesome. Please do subscribe. Follow this. What'd you say?
Manfear.
Yeah, exactly.
Manfear.
I think so far we're 5 more subscribers closer to Manfear. That's right, everybody.
Not enough. More people.
Not enough. Yeah, exactly. Too bad. It's going to take a long time. It can take as long as it needs. I do want to show this image. We've talked about some cast members, all the casting that they've done. And I want to say that this, I could be wrong, and Geeky Area and Watt Series, just let me know if I mess this up. But I think these are all of the official cast members. Official. There's there's an image just like this with like 3 rows of unofficial cast members, mm-hmm. which is to say people that have been discovered by fans but have not been officially named by or announced by the Wheel of Time and Amazon Prime. But just look at this cast. It's an amazing cast. Alvaro Morte, I can't wait to see him as Logain. Sophie Okonedo as Swan. Jeez, that's going to be amazing, right? All of these individuals, this just looks like a fantastic cast. Can't wait to see them on the screen. It's going to be a blast. Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I wonder because so there's been a lot of media for the last season of Money Heist is coming out in a couple of months. I think maybe September. So I'm kind of interested to see if there's going to be a lot of people like Money Heist fans who are going to travel over to the Wheel of Time. Because I'm assuming, from the evidence we've been getting over the last couple of weeks, it sounds like it's going to be a November, December release for the show. So that'll be just enough, like just in time for like Money Heist to wrap up and then people to want more Alvaro Morte and to then travel over to Wheel of Time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know. I'm hoping so. He has a huge following, and I can't wait to introduce. And the fact I love that they're introducing, like Daniel and Rosamund and others have been introducing, their fandoms to Wheel of Time. It's awesome. It's awesome to see, and I can't wait to see what this happens over the next 6 months. So, okay, our first caller tonight. You know him well, and he doesn't need an introduction, but we will. Welcome to the Dusty Wheel, Norm. How you doing, Norm? It's good to see you, man. Cheers.
Great Innkeeper, as always. I raise my mug and glass to you. Yo, Joe! And of course, hi, Mary.
Norm, I know we have a lot of people wanting to say something. What was your thought to jump in today? How are you feeling knowing that season 1 is wrapped and season 2 is on its way?
I'm stoked. It's pretty surreal. The biggest thing I was thinking of is that, you have such a diverse cast, and that's something that kind of broke the internet when it happened. I mean, you can, because the last 2 major fantasy series, with Lord of the Rings / Hobbit and Game of Thrones, the cast was like 98% white. You can count on your hand how many people of color actually had speaking roles. And now here comes Wheel of Time that is just, literally broke the internet. I mean, you had to do an entire show on it with you and Daniel. and pretty much just calm everyone's nerves or just call out people who were just, it was the vitriol, I think, is what that took me back, of how many people were just, so animate about, no, this is wrong. My headcanon is just completely, destroyed, and raise and rail of the machine. So I personally, I know a lot of other people have agreed with this, that, it's just nice to see diversity, and not because of diversity's sake, but because these people are the right people for the role, and that's what makes it so much better. So that's my biggest takeaway from all of it.
No, that's a good memory with all of the casting that did come out. I showed up the cast again, and cast members have talked about the diversity in the show, and just how amazing it is for them to be part of the show that is so diverse. And yes, you're mentioning this thumbnail when Daniel and I talked about this last year. If you didn't see the video or the live show we did afterwards, I thought the live show was really interesting. We got to dig into the things in the comments we had about that and talk to fans about it. So yeah, I agree. Thank you for bringing that up. That's definitely a very memorable and continues to be a very memorable part of the show and the fandom experience so far. So yeah, that's a great one. So Norm, before I let you go, what episode so far that you know of the first 8 episodes of season 1, which of those are you looking forward to most?
Honestly, the 2 that we don't know about, episodes 7 and 8. What are their titles? What are they going to be?
Give us those titles.
I have a running bet with somebody that the last 2 episodes are going to be the name of the next book, and at least one of them is going to be the name of the next book, called The Great Hunt or something. It's going to be one of the last 2 episodes.
Okay.
So
like that's your theory. I like it.
I like it.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was that was a question I had asked Rafe in his recent Q&A, like, are we going to get those episode titles? And we were talking on our episode actually that we just released today about, we think that maybe they're not releasing them because they give away too much information. Yeah.
They give away too much.
Yeah, like maybe it's like Eye of the World or Tarwin's Gap or The Green Man's Place or something like that, where it's going to give away too much information.
I like it. That's a good theory. That's a good theory for the fact that they have not given us that one. So hey, Norm, as always, thank you very much. Thanks for bringing that up. Great memory to have brought up to the show. Really appreciate that, man. And as always, we'll see you back here at the Dusty Wheel. Have a good night.
Yes, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.
See you, man. So yeah, great. Thank you for bringing that up, Norm. Just one of those things that's happened over the last 3 years. So much has taken place. That was definitely I don't know, a highlight's the wrong way to say it. It was definitely a really cool thing for us as fandom to talk about. I don't know, cool is the wrong word too. It was an important topic. It was an important thing to talk about and continues to be. And I love that the show, again, is Robert Jordan's vision of it, which it would be just this really diverse cast. So I love that they I know it seems like they were bold, and I'm like, well, that's the Wheel of Time, so I'm glad that they stuck to it. So, and
it
by
was
the way,
an important scene. Sorry to interrupt you, Matt, but I think not only the video and the research that you and Daniel did, that spawned a lot of conversation that I think needed to happen, and it's still going on. And we got so many different opinions from other content creators, from Lesby Nerdy, from Ridima, from Geeky Airy, from, you know, all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, talking about why this is not only, you know, canon, but important, and not to get, you know, freaked out about it. And I think that conversation is going to continue to happen and should continue to happen, that and that we should celebrate what's going to happen. No matter what happens, it was a bold move. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. And again, we'll keep talking about it, and it'll continue to be a topic of conversation. Actually, I think when the show launches, it's going to be a bigger topic because there's just going to be more people know of the show. So, and by the way, I'm seeing a lot of questions here in chat. I'll try to answer a few of them. We'll take the next caller. As far as the current known episode titles, you can find those a variety of places. Dragon Mount has them listed. Weebs of the Wheel does, I'm sure. I'm trying to think. I'm sure at the Great Blight they do too. Lots of websites have those lists. I think winterscoming.net and Thrillist all posted like lists of those titles that we know so far, but we know the first 6 titles of season 1. And I saw a question about, do we have an approximate date or time? A lot of people are talking, I think some content creators out there like John from What Up have suggested closer to the end of the year, but so approximate, I don't think so, but I would imagine, yeah, I'm feeling, at least from all the news that I've seen so far from people posting publicly, I think last quarter of the year is kind of where I'm pinning this.
Yeah,
so
we've got the recent news from both Watt series, and also Adam Whitehead had talked about the new editions of the book being slated to be released.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In November, or between November and December, which kind of gives us an idea of they would probably do that around the time of the release of the show. Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. So we do have an approximate timing, which is sometime around that November time frame, because we heard that there's a new edition of books being released. So yeah, great point. We can approximate that now, which is great to know. Okay, so let's bring our next caller into the show. Let's welcome John to the Dusty Wheel. John, welcome. How you doing? Hey, John, you there? John, are you muted, John? I don't know if this is John. This is What Up, John, or not. John, can you hear us yet? Are you unmuted? Okay, John, we're going to come back. We'll come back to you here shortly. Hopefully you figure out the phone, and we'll bring you back in just a second. Let's bring Karen to the Dusty Wheel. Karen, welcome.
Hey, thank you, guys. This is Karen Sedai, also known as Fluffy McDarkhound.
Love
really,
it.
I like
love the name.
Evil a little bit. What I wanted to talk about, and to other people's points, what Norm said about diversity, love that. Yeah. Talking about characters whose names start with EL. I think Min's real name is Elmendreda, isn't it? So that could be another one if he wants to be sneaky about it. But that's not what I'm calling about.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But so we've got Pat and Fame, we've got Leandrin. Do we have any inkling about any other evil folk? Because I would love to see some more Forsaken or the Dark One or anything like that.
Yeah. So this is a good question, and I'll probably throw this up just to remind everybody here, just in case we get into spoiler territory. This might cover some spoilers because as we talk about evil people, that might happen. So I just want to throw that banner up. I'll try to remember to take it down for those of you that have been watching this entire time. But yeah, to Joe's point, Joe, go ahead and you can answer this. You've been following the news. Really
that was
closely.
One of the questions that was asked at the recent Q&A. Are we going to see any Forsaken in season 1? And I think Rafe's answer was something to the effect of, some people say Forsaken are everywhere, something like that.
Some people see Forsaken. Yeah, some people see Forsaken everywhere. That's right.
And I feel called out when he says that.
So we don't know. We have no idea. It's certainly unknown.
All right.
Yeah, so I want to throw two things in here. Actually, in fact, Karen Min is cast. So we already know that Min's going to be in season 1 already. So So that was because I saw that one. I was like, oh, that would have been a really good one. Again, there's so many L's, right? There's so many there's so many L's. But who do you want from the evil side of this? Who are you hoping is cast? Like, who are you want to make sure they are going to include when it comes to the dark side?
Oh, let's see. I mean, of course, all of us want to see Lanfear, so
Right.
that's a given. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Mogedion or Mogadine, depending on which audiobook I'm listening to. And then just seeing, I don't know, anybody, but I am really excited with their casting choice for Patton Fane. I think he's going to kill it. And I saw some acting clips of Leandra. And yeah, really, literally, he's going to kill it. But in Leandra, any scene that includes her is going to be off the hook, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Kate is great. Yeah, the cast is so good. I just can't wait to see what they bring to it. And Lanfear, I'm with you on that one, Karen. I can't wait. I'm hoping it was L as in the pronunciation, and that I'm hoping that Rafe loves Lanfear just as much as I do.
Nobody loves Lanfear as much.
I'm hoping he has like a big role for. Nobody knows. You never know. Rafe could surprise us. Hey, Karen, thank you so much for holding on line there and for being part of the show tonight. Appreciate that question. And before I let you go, which episode of season 1 are you looking forward to most?
Shadar Logoth. I want to see the Mashadar in action.
See, Karen, you're my kind of person. Lanfear and Shatter Logoth. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Hey, thank you very much, and have a good evening. Okay.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Great work.
You too. Hey, thank you. Bye bye.
I get the feeling that they haven't announced any of the big bads, kind of like how they didn't announce Kevin Spacey in all the promotions for Seven.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even, I think, credited. He was listed
until the end. It's
until after it was released.
It's the first credit at the very end of the movie, and it's after the movie ends. It says, "And Kevin Spacey as John Doe."
Right.
Yeah.
So keeping that close to the vest, because we've got Leandrin, we've got Eamon Valda and Joe from Bornhold.
That's right.
But other than that, we don't really have any, quote, and Patton Fane, obviously. We don't have any of the antagonists cast yet.
Right.
We could have. I mean, if they put Agenor and Balthamel in, it's literally one scene, so it might not be anybody that big.
It could be somebody really big, and you only have to pay for them for one scene.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping
one of them's going to be wearing a mask, though, so you won't even see their face.
God,
that's true.
I'm hoping it's Clancy Brown. I'm hoping it's Clancy Brown. Oh my God, I would freak.
Who played the Gimp in Pulp Fiction? They can get that guy to do it.
Okay, so let me take down the spoiler banner. If you've been watching for it, if you muted this, we are no spoilers back here. I mean, basically, we're talking show spoilers, but we're going to try to stay away from too many book spoilers outside of the Eye of the World here. So we still have a bunch of callers in. I want to remind you, if you are watching right now, jump into live chat. You're going to run out of time here shortly to join the raffle. We're going to close that up here in a couple minutes, and then we're going to have Taylor pick out 2. We'll give away a t-shirt and give away a mug. And then we'll do some more calls. We'll talk. We'll give away a couple more things. We're just going to do some more giveaways, talk, chat, cover some fun stuff here as we continue. So make sure to join the raffle if you want a chance. Now, what else stands out to you? So we talked about casting. The table read was a lot of fun, obviously. And when it came to, 2020 really getting going, does anything stand out to you, Joe, as far as just great memories of what it's been like to be a fan here working up through season 1 production?
Yeah, I think it was early 2020. We got the episodes 5 and 6 season, the scripts, when all the new actors and actresses posed for those pictures on Instagram with the scripts, where we found out that we got officially that Daryl McCormack was on it, and Jennifer Chiang-Garcia, Priyanka Bose, Kate Fleetwood, all of them, and then we got those episode titles. I think that was a really good start to the year for sure.
Yeah, that was it. We had the table read, so we had that 6-month period from I think September forward was crazy. Just getting so many castings, the table read itself, and then actually, there was a lot of stuff that came out at that time, like this thing you're talking about, the script selfies that we started seeing more of. And then it went a little bit quiet after that. Mary, do you have any kind of standouts other than obviously the script selfies and that episode 5-6 kind of time period that for 2020 stands out to you?
I may be getting the timeline mixed up. I do that a lot, but I liked when Jennifer Chongazier was really interacting with fans on online on Twitter and Instagram. I liked it with Priyanka. We were like getting regular updates from Priyanka, and they were just fun. There was nothing spoilery about it. It was just a way to inject some excitement into the fandom community, and that interaction with the fandom community was just it was so fun. It was so respectful. It was so great to see. And then, I loved the production stills that we got. Those were, and just the stories from the set. We got a little bit of teasery stuff from Sarah Nakamura, who would come and share as little as she could. And, she was under some very strict, and still is under some very strict non-disclosure rules. And we totally respect that. And that doesn't mean we still don't ask her questions. We are horrible, horrible people, Sarah.
Yeah, it's really funny. When she jumps into chat, there's always 1,000 questions that come up, and people are pretty respectful, but you can tell like they can't not ask the question they really wanted to ask. It's like, look, you don't have to answer this, but can you just tell us when's the show coming out? What's going to be rated? How many episodes are going to be at the same time? Is it going to be weekly or all at once? What do you know? What do you know? But I feel the same way. Yeah, when Sarah coming on has been a lot of fun. Let me just take a pause here. Taylor is just about to close this up. Go ahead, and Taylor, you can close up the raffle. And like I said, we're gonna pick 2 here, and then we're gonna take a couple calls. I see John and Corey and a couple of others here waiting. Thank you very much for waiting here for us. And like I said, we'll try to do our best to weave you into this conversation. Okay, so you can't enter the raffle any longer. Thank you very much for sticking around and joining this. Okay, first up, I'm going to have to remember these. If one of the admins is watching and wants to remember this too, you can. There's going to be a lot of giveaways, and I don't know that I'm going to remember them all. But the first one up, let's give a mug away. So Taylor, go ahead and pick our mug winner, or one of our mug winners today. Wow, there we go. Atomic Blue, X Blue, has won a Dusty mug. So Atomic Blue, hopefully you're still here. If you are, please reach out to us on social media or on Discord. We do an after show. You can find us there. Just look up, just go join us on Discord and just ask where to find the Innkeeper, and someone will point you the way. Tell them you won a Dusty mug. So hopefully we see Atomic X Blue here in the chat with us. If we don't ever see him here or her or them, we will find another person for the mug. So hopefully they show back up. And now let's give away a t-shirt. And when I say t-shirt, so I don't know if you like any of these designs. I threw some of these designs up. This is the Watt Chibis that Maria has put together. And this is the Hatch family at the Dusty Wheel Show. This one's a lot of fun. Let's see this one right here. You can kind of see it in white. So that's an option, if you will. I threw together this one. It's the cool pipe that comes from the logos. It'd be fun to throw on a t-shirt. The Dusty Wheel. I like this one. I turned the Dusty Wheel Show off to the side a little bit. I like that effect. But anyway, I just thrown together some t-shirts, and we'll give away one of these. So yeah, let's give a t-shirt away. Taylor, go ahead and pick our second winner of the evening. And that is VGamer5 has won a t-shirt. So VGamer5 and Atomic X Blue, thank you for being with us here. And please do reach out to us again over social media on Discord. You can find the links in the description, and we'll get you that merch. Again, just reach out to us there and let us know that you won one of these. So yeah, congratulations. I will show you this one. I threw the Chibis on a frosted mug, and it looks pretty cool. I want to buy one of these. So I need to get one of these and see how it looks. I like the Chibi mug now versus, I like the traditional one we got, but this Chibi mug is a lot of fun. Okay, let's bring John. Let's see if John is going to talk to us and is back with us here. John, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Are you there this time?
Sorry, I was on mute.
No worries, man. No worries. I'm glad we caught you this time. So, what are your thoughts here? We've spent the last 3 years kind of thinking about this TV show. How are you feeling now?
It's been a long road, man. And what I really wanted to point out was how psycho I got really towards the beginning. with trying to track down every detail I could about production before there was really anything out there.
Yeah.
So there was a tweet by Rafe on November 7th of 2018, and it was a picture of the writing room, right?
Yeah, right.
So I don't know if anyone wants to second screen this with me because it's actually kind of a fun journey. But that picture has the left-hand window that is in frame. Outside of it, you can zoom in and you see an address on the back wall that says 133 SPALD.
On that picture?
So I just extrapolated that to mean Spalding. I put that in Google Maps. I go into like Street View, and you can see the wall behind the building with that exact imprint on it, and the very back door of the building. So the address is, at least it was. I mean, they're in Czech now, so I feel comfortable saying this. I'm not blowing up anyone's spot anymore. They're all in the Czech Republic writing now. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't want to put them out there.
Right,
but
right.
It's 134 South Lasky Drive, Beverly Hills was where the writing room originally was in place, and it was actually in a furniture factory.
That's crazy.
Wow. Nice.
This is the degree. I mean, Geeky my guess is Geeky was also doing the same thing. Like, there's so many fans that probably saw that. And that is, for those listening out there, a part of the show, if you happen to be here. Yeah, we just love this thing so much that any clue, no matter how small.
I'm telling you, anything I could get. And I hesitated so long before trying to send a gift basket or anything out that I didn't get there before they were already doing table reads and check. So I was like, oh man, I missed my shot. I could have at least sent a blanket or something.
You should have sent the gift basket and planted a microphone in the gift basket, so that way you would have.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I bugged it. Yeah,
just
planted a bug. That's what I said. Yeah.
And then send me the recording. No, so I think it's cool that you waited and you did not throw it out there. I think that's.
I didn't want to. Yeah, I did. Well, I hesitated. I was going to say something in Twitter, hey, maybe take that down. And I was like, well, maybe somebody else will have fun with it, and at least if I'm not exposing it, I'm not.
Yeah. I love that you. I love that you held on to that, but that you did the detective work. That's commendable. Hey, John. So when it comes to the actual episode titles themselves, by the way, thank you for sharing that story. But as you look forward to the episodes, is there one that's standing out most to you when it comes to season 1?
I want the waves. I really can't wait to see the kind of crushing effect of light and darkness inside the waves.
Yeah, that's man. Yeah, we have every reason to believe, because of our staycationing Wheel of Time fans, that this image here, the Waystone Portal Gate, as we referred to it, which we didn't know exactly what it was at the time, but they literally got a chance to go on this field and take pictures of this and posted them. Yeah. And so I feel very confident.
There's a big door in the wall. Yeah, there's a big door in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's really cool. There's a really cool shot that I showed where you can see that from very far away that they included. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I absolutely believe from this that we've got to be getting the waves. That's a great one to pick out. Well, John, thank you very much for holding on line. Thank you for sharing that story and holding on to that information. Way to go! And that's a good one. And I totally appreciate the technical.
I'm gambling on a T-shirt, man.
Okay, yeah, definitely stick around and hold on here. And you don't know, we have 4 more giveaways to go. So thanks, John. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
That's an amazing story.
I wonder how many fans did that same exact thing and held on to that.
Wasn't there another one, like a backpacker that stumbled in on the gorge, the river scene or something like that?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, I don't have that image, those images, but yeah, you can find them. A lot of us. That was one of the fun things that came out of that. Just a lot of the detective work was crazy that went on. Congratulations to all of you fans. Obviously I don't say that from the sense of I'm advocating stalking, no, but the online kind of looking into where things are from. Yes, respectful detective work, I guess, is the way to think about it. So I appreciate that this fan was seemingly sounds like respectful to this. So I appreciate that a lot. Let's bring our next caller into the show. Many of you have seen him here on the Dusty Wheel. Let me welcome Corey to the Dusty Wheel. Corey, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Matt. Great. How are you?
Great.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Corey.
Thanks for holding on, man. What's your thoughts now?
Oh, well, It's been great listening to the conversation here. I think I'm kind of just thinking about characters. You know, as we were talking earlier about characters that you're excited to see, or some of the casting, and I still feel like I'm just so excited to see Marcus Rutherford. And I know like it's probably I'm like kind of a broken wheel or a record, I guess, because I just keep talking about Perrin, but I'm just really excited to see him on screen and to see him carry that role. You're talking about like Barney Harris being like a perfect casting and stuff. I think maybe it's because we did that deep dive together and talking about, you had me on the show there, we were talking about Perrin, but it's just kind of a deep desire for me to see him on screen. And I noticed in one of Rafe's recent tweets, he was talking about that being a real challenge, was sort of the internal dialogue, like we've been talking about Perrin and how you get that onto the screen from the page. And so I'm excited to see that, and I really believe that he can carry the character so well. So,
yeah, there's something about those episodes when we dig into the works of the actor, and like we're doing with Rosamund this Wednesday, it just really makes me appreciate them and look forward to them even more. Is there one from their work, Mary, that you've seen other than I know you brought up Sally? Is there someone where you're just like you've seen something there and you can't wait to see how they're going to portray this character in the show?
Gosh, I'm trying to remember. It was one that Madeline Madden did. It was The Haunting. I'm blanking on the name.
I know, me too. I thought you weren't going to say Dora. That's what you were not going to say.
No, I didn't say Dora. And
Madeline.
Was it?
It was the Australian.
Haunting of.
Picnic.
Is it Picnic?
Picnic
at Hanging Rock.
Hanging Rock. Yeah, I watched that, and she was kind of a background character there, but I was just so laser focused on her, and I was getting excited. I'm like, I'm gonna see her, and she's gonna be Egwene, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm just really hopeful, and
yeah, that one. How about you, Joe? Is there one that you?
I mean, I guess Rosamund. I'm interested in Alvaro Morte as well. How he's going to be Logain. He's not obviously how I pictured Logain, but he's such an awesome actor and very charismatic. But I was thinking too, and I've thought about this. Is like now that this is being turned into a TV show, right? There's an opportunity here for characters that you didn't like when you read the books to all of a sudden become characters that you like because of the way these actors and actresses are going to portray them and the way they're going to be written and the adapted. So I totally am like going into this with like a blank slate and trying to get rid of all my preconceived notions of the characters. Cause I have a feeling like certain characters that maybe I didn't like as much in the books that I'm ready to really embrace them when they come onto the show, because I think that's going to happen. I think, and vice versa, hopefully not so much, but I'm looking forward to that.
I have Jennifer Cheon Garcia.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I watched Jennifer Cheon Garcia, and she brings so many dimensions to Lyanna that I have never had in my head. And so every time I see her, like, doing some workout, like where she's like boxing a bag or something, I'm just imagining in the basement of the White Tower, she's just down there, like she's just annoyed at that Swan or something, and she just like goes down there and takes it out. Like, she has like, I can't wait to see Lyanna in the show now, all because of Jennifer Cheon Garcia. So yeah, what were you saying? What were you saying, Corey?
She's got tremendous physicality, right? But I was just saying, like, I'm so excited to see what they do with Logain as well, like to see what they do with Alvaro's character and just more deep diving and how they're talking about him being more of a heavier role. That to me, that'll be really fascinating as well.
Yeah.
You think they're going to make him a red herring?
I think so.
He's the Dragon Reborn.
I kind of hope so for first time viewers, honestly. Like, I mean, I actually think they're going to red herring everybody off the start. That all the Fab Three from Emmons Field, and you're going to be, as a new viewer who hasn't read the books, you'll be like, what? Who's going? I don't know what's going on. And I think they'll deliberately play that up.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that it's not as obvious as it is in the books. Hey, Corey, before we let you go, I've been asking everybody, what episode are you looking forward to most when it comes to season 1?
I mean, I'm really excited to see Rand come into his own and kill with the one power and do amazing things. I kind of want to see the showdown at the end of book 1 and like the Green Man and all those pieces. I'm really excited to see what they do with all that. So, and then the whole thing about not knowing any of the Forsaken yet is kind of killing me. So,
Yeah, I know that the lack of knowing, like, was it Karen that brought that up at the beginning? The lack of knowing what they're planning there is a little bit. Again, they're leaving it for us, I think, fans to have to wait on that piece. Well, Corey, thank you very much for holding on, man. Thank you very much for being, such a great artist. If you don't follow Corey's work, please go check him out at Third Age Art on Instagram. It's amazing. I love the character work you're doing right now. It's so much fun to watch. And as always, can't wait to have you back here at the Dusty Wheel, man. We'll have to have you here as a guest.
That would be a pleasure.
Okay, man. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me on tonight, guys. Great show. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, cool. I see Atomic X Blue is in chat. So hopefully Atomic X Blue knows that they won a mug, and make sure to check us out over on Discord and let us know, and we can get that to you. So we have some more callers here, but I do want to ask you both, anything else come up here before we bring our next caller in, Joe, like something else from 2020 that's kind of a standout for you as far as just stuff that happened, whether or not in fandom or stuff that happened that was released, news, leaks, etc.
Yeah, I think one of my favorites was the those audition tapes. Well, we got the scripts from. I thought those were so awesome to talk. I mean, just reading those and then trying to decipher, who the code character names were, and then like trying to place them into like scenes in the books, and then like seeing new stuff that we weren't expecting, like where we think we see scenes with Moiraine and Nynaeve meeting up with Leandrin and Logain and like all of that. I think, and I think there was a scene with Egwene and Rand having a conversation that was a little confusing. We weren't quite sure what that was about. I think that was a lot of fun reading into those and talking about them.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about with the audition scripts, you gotta go check those out. Like I said, at Watt Series, I don't have an example here. They take them down afterwards. I don't necessarily want to get any of those actors in trouble, but actors posted auditions that they did, videos onto Vimeo, and those were found, and we learned a little bit more, at least about what those audition scripts had in them. We don't know how much that translates into the actual show itself, but it was a blast to have those. And like you said, Joe, to be able to like parse there was I don't want to dive too deep. I know we have a bunch of callers here, but there was one that dealt with, like you said, the Aes Sedai and Logain that I thought was really, really cool. So let's bring our next caller to the show, and then Mary, I want to get to you on that same question. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hey, this is Rajesh.
Oh, Rajesh, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Good, how are you?
Hey, Rajesh.
Oh man, it's awesome.
Innkeeper, Mary, John.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts, Rajesh? We've been doing this now for years. How are you feeling now with season 1 production wrapping and season 2 being greenlit?
I'm excited. I'm just waiting for trailer data and just waiting for the 2-hour stream.
Yeah, yes, we're all waiting for the trailer. That's a great point. So, Mary, how do you think this is going to turn out with the trailers? When do you think we're going to get the first trailer? What's your guess?
Well, if they are, I'm hoping we get a few more of the little mini trailers to keep our appetite whetted. But if they're targeting a November release, we'll probably start seeing some serious trailers come September, if not sooner. Okay. I'm trying to think of other productions when they started dropping trailers, and it's usually maybe a month before that you see something official.
I think I think a lot of people were saying they'd kind of done. I think Nablus and others had looked into this. We had a caller that had looked into it once. I think the long trailer, like the whatever, I don't know what they call those, but like whatever, the minute and a half, the big trailer, somewhere in that 2 month to 3 month range, it can show up beforehand. And then the teaser will show up potentially like a month or two before that. And so that's kind of, I don't know if they're following this kind of like teaser trailer with full trailer thing, but if that is the case and we're talking like that November, December timeframe, I would assume a teaser trailer in the next month that's where I'm at. Rajesh, where are you at this point? You just give it to me, or do you have a guess on when this is going to happen?
I'm hoping for a teaser or some kind of trailer in like late June, but I'm afraid it's going to be like August or September.
Yeah, everyone was talking like trailer. Remember we had the news like it's in May. There's a trailer, and then it was like maybe not May.
Super Bowl trailer. We were all like Super Bowl. No.
Yeah,
that was
Super Bowl
before
trailer,
they stopped production for the second time though. So
yeah, exactly. Joe, do you have a guess here, or
I'm thinking September. I think
Yeah.
the trailer's September too. I'm with Mary on that. I think maybe about 2 months or so prior we'll get a trailer. I don't know about a teaser. I don't know if they're gonna, because they've given us so many little teasers already, if we're gonna get like a 30-second full teaser.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did, it would probably just be a compilation that like you and Taylor did of just the other teasers.
Yes, I know that's the question. Is that teaser trailer was just going to be a compilation, and hopefully not. Hopefully they've added more to that.
That would be disappointing.
Yes, not for other, for us that are watching this like hawks on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour, minute-by-minute case.
I think that the fact that we got all of those little teasers, that we might not get like an actual teaser like other like movies
it's
do,
possible.
like a 30-second. Yeah. I think we might just get the trailer, and I'm saying maybe around like Labor Day or something like that.
Yeah, that's possible. And I think a lot of fans are like, well, they're all here for the long haul, honestly. Before we let you go, Rajesh, curious, which episode are you looking forward to most?
I'm thinking now maybe The Dragon Reborn. I want to see if it's going to be all about Logain or if it's going to end with Moraine saying the dragon is reborn. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I think that we talked about that one a lot. Like, how do you interpret the Dragon Reborn? What does that mean? Where is it at? That's a good one to look forward to. I love that we all have kind of our favorite thing that we look forward to seeing in this. This turned into like an interesting discussion point of what fans want to, what they're hoping for most. I mean, Rafe had this same moment. I'll play that here in just a second, where he talks about this idea that he kind of hopes that for fandom. So, hey, Rajesh, thank you very much for waiting online here with us. As always, thank you for being a viewer with us in chat and holding down the fort in live chat for us. So, and someday we gotta have you. We got to have you here as a guest. You got to be on the show. So
right. Sounds good.
We got to make that happen, man. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so we have 3 more callers. I do want to play this one. I think this is a really great one. I think it's about a minute long. Let me see if I can find it here. But it's when Rafe is Zoom bombed. We have to bring that up. If you did not ever see the conversation that we had with Rafe at JordanCon, it was an online JordanCon panel, or JordanCon line. This happened in April of last year. And this is just a little snippet. You should go watch it. He was there for like 30 minutes. And yeah, he Zoom bombed that one. Showed up out of the blue and talked to us. It was really great. But I think this was a really interesting point that he makes. Before you go, is there something you'd like to, a message or some word to the fans that you'd like to leave us all with as they're watching? Is there anything you'd like to say to them before you take off?
I just really hope that everyone enjoys it. Like, I'm watching it and watching a bunch of episodes in a row this week. I am enjoying it. Like, I'm excited to see what happens in the next episode. I'm excited to see some of these things that come to life. And so, my hope is that people will be able to enjoy it too, and sort of, no matter what, there's going to be changes. There will be things that like make you hate it, and there will be things that make you love it. And I think that that's sort of just the truth of an adaptation of something that you love that much. And so hopefully everyone will find a moment where they're able to like drop out of their head and just see a moment on screen that makes them go, oh my God, that's this book I love come to life.
Yeah, that's a great way to leave. So that piece, and Mary and Joe didn't get to hear that one. This is the point where Rafe is talking about how he's hoping that fans will find a moment. He's like, there's going to be changes. But he's hopeful that fans will find the moment where they're like, yes, I can see this is the moment I was waiting for. And he's hopeful that those moments will be, meaningful to fans.
I'm hoping for more than one. I'm going to hog all the moments.
Not one moment, Rafe.
Yeah.
We want a lot of moments.
You're like, wait a second. That was okay. One moment was okay last April. It's no longer just okay.
It's not enough.
Okay, so let's bring our next caller into the show.
We should do another giveaway too, Matt. I think
we will. Yes, do that. Yeah. Rod, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing?
Hey, good morning or evening or afternoon, depending on where you are.
That's right. And
depending on how many dogs are running around in the background with toys.
There's never enough toys. What are you talking about?
That's a lot.
Always have the toys.
Never enough. Working children. Oh, there you go. She wants pets.
Yes.
So, Rod, what are your thoughts?
Like I said, I'm the row that hated you were so weird. Who would put their name as hated? Anyway, I was just joining this whole madness. I didn't realize, I have been reading this book series over and over and over once a year for the last 15 years at least. And, it's one of those things we all, as any book fan, is scared when they first come out with a show, thinking, how much are they going to screw up this adaptation, And the big one for me was, again, I'm a Perrin guy to the core.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if they put somebody in there, if they put some skinny little pretty boy in there as Perrin, I'm going to go insane, so it's, but I do. I really love the guy that looks like he's been cast for it and all that kind of stuff. I didn't even realize these groups exist. I grew up in Missouri, and if you're a big dude like me, 6'3" monster, and you're reading, a fantasy book in Missouri, they're just like, "What are you doing? You should be out playing football." So I'm really excited about this, And there's a whole group of people that might be like-minded. I'm like, my mind is blowing right now. So I missed the last one, actually, because I was wrapping up Lord of Chaos on audio. So I missed your last episode. So
well, now have you been through it once before, right?
I
Or have you? This is the first time you're through it, or this is like a return? You're going through the books again, right?
Oh, I go through the books. I try to read them, and I say read, but I'm listening. I've about 2006. When I got out of the Army, I started truck driving. I started listening to audiobooks, and this is one of the first ones because I always wanted to read it, but I never had time. But I was always reading other books as a kid. So, like, when I got through it, I was like, I'm reading this over and over, and I've been reading it at least once a year for the last 15 years. You know,
that's awesome.
So, you know, yeah, and I mean, I've been listening to the other callers, and I'm just like, I have so many answers for what everybody's saying, you know. And
good. Good.
Like,
well,
you know, it's just it's amazing to me.
Well, yeah, there's a whole group of fandom out here for sure, just waiting for you.
Yes, like-minded people. The reason I was wanting to call in, and because you guys obviously are not lazy like me, and you've actually paid attention to the production and all this kind of stuff. How much can you alleviate my fears that this show is not going to be another sort of truth adaptation with like Hercules and Xena, the warrior princess style fighting, and you know.
Well, so if this makes sense,
nightmare stuff.
Yeah, I think let's go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, well, I mean, you've got some of these actors and actresses are well known, and they're, you know, definitely great actors and actresses, but I would say like the director, like Uda Bracewitz is amazing director. Everything she's done a lot of TV, and like she's done Stranger Things. She did I can't think of the other things off the top of my head because I'm going to blank, but she's done a lot of great stuff. The VFX companies that are involved are VFX companies that have worked on Marvel movies, Harry Potter movies. Like this isn't going to look like this is going to look quality. The writers that they're bringing on, the costume designers, they've all worked on amazing shows and productions. So I don't think we have to really worry. I'm not worried.
And this doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be a great show, but there's so many theater actors involved too.
Yeah.
Just craftsmen. Yeah. You know, like there's just people that have honed and loved this craft and live in it. So I'm confident that, you know, they're just going to bring so much texture to the show. I mean, I throw this image back up. Just I look at all these names, and as we've gotten to know them, you know, I guess they could really poorly write it. I don't know how you would mess it up at this point with the amount of money and the
there are
actors
so many
and everything.
pitfalls.
So, sure. There are, but
there's so many pitfalls for an adaptation. I mean, do they blow season 1's budget because they have Henry Cavill come in as a dark man or something, you know? Or better yet, Christopher Walken's the dark one, you know?
Christopher
Walken.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a
prophecy.
I beat you again, Logan. You know? Yeah, I mean, so there's all these things that they can screw up, and like you don't want them to, because this is one of the few. This maybe Sword of Truth. The new guy did Iron Druid. These are books I'd love to see the screen. I'd love to see these characters come to life. And here's the issue. When you've read all 14.5 books so many times, the pure character development in a series that size, you get to know these people. There's tears in your eyes when one of them goes down or so they lose a loved one. You know, you're on your toes when something good's happening. And then they put it on here and they put some two-dimensional actor in there, and you're just like, really? They got the role because they can flex nice? You know, come on.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing.
They're P80X and they're going to be Rand. You know, screw that.
There is always a
I'm
chance.
trying to keep my filters on.
Yeah, there's always a chance that there's probably going to be a misstep. There's going to be a misstep somewhere, and you know, you just kind of have to roll with it. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to. Yeah, that's kind of bad, but is it a deal breaker? Is it a killer for you? And you know, is there a line that is just too far? Hopefully there isn't. You know, and you can enjoy it as a different turning of the wheel, and we just kind of have to trust, I guess.
There's definitely going to be
the third age that they're actually projecting. I get
that would be the one thing I would say is like, it's not going to be exactly like the book, the plots and the stories, and it's not going to be exactly like the books, and you're going to have to just go into the show knowing that there's going to be changes, there's going to be cuts, there's going to be stuff added, so you gotta deal with that.
I mean, how do you put 15 books worth of dialogue on a screen, you know, and capture it into? You just can't, because you're in the character's head. You're thinking along with them. What are they going to do? Put like a disembodied voice, you know? Oh my gosh, this is what I'm thinking. You know, that's not a thing. The way they do it a little bit, but
that's loose.
Rod, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate that you found people, just like you, who love these books, and I can tell that we would have an amazing conversation that would never end about this, and I love it. So please do keep coming back.
I do tend to ramble.
No, so do we. I could talk about Asmodean. I won't say what about Asmodean because I want to spoil this for anybody. But I could talk about Asmodean I have for decades, and I still will.
And Varen,
so and Varen and Lanfear, People listen to me ramble every week here at the Dusty Wheel. So hey Rod, I hope you'll be back. Hope you give us another call, man, and have a good evening, okay?
Oh yeah, you too. Oh, by the way, my answer to the question is, which episode am I looking forward to?
Which episode? Yeah.
The very first one, because I want that sucker to come out, you know.
Yeah, right. I love that you picked the first one. No one else has picked that one, so that's a great pick. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Let's just get this. Let's get leave taking.
And it might be coming out on my birthday in November. I mean, like, I'm all excited.
Okay, you got to come back and tell us if it does, man. Okay, talk to you soon.
Okay.
Have a good evening. Yep, bye-bye.
And there are, I don't think it's going to fall flat on its face. I don't think this show is going to be another bad sort of truth. I'm very hopeful that it won't. And I've encountered, adaptations of stuff that I've loved in the past that I really don't like. I have to admit, I don't like the X-Men movies. And I was a huge X-Men fan, collected the comics in the 90s. I can't stand the movies, but it doesn't take away my love for the X-Men and the books that I read back in the 90s. I absolutely despise the Transformers movies. If I saw Michael Bay walking down the street, I would probably smack him, and I would probably just do horrible things. And when I heard he was going to act, when he was looking at Robotech, I started frothing at the mouth. I'm like, no, you can't take this from me too, you fucking bastard. But but it
tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't still enjoy the old cartoons. That's what I grew up with, and even though there was a horrible adaptation of it, I just don't watch it. I just ignore it. It's like the second Highlander movie. It never happened. It never happened, and I'm all right with that.
Well, we have 2 more callers, and Taylor's going to come in here, and we're gonna give away, do 2 more giveaways, and then we'll bring in these next 2 callers. Like I said, these will be our last 2 callers of the evening. Then we will cover everything that we might have missed here, and we're going to go a little bit long. I hope that's okay with if Mary or Joe, if you need to take off, let me know. But we'll finish up here probably in the next 15 or 20 minutes. But yeah, here we go for our 2 giveaways. Good luck, everyone. Sorry you can't join the raffle if you weren't here for the first hour. But here's our next mug. Goes to who, Taylor? Lodgekeep has won a Dusty mug. Did Lodgekeep win last time?
I think so.
I feel like I've seen that Lodgekeep as a winner. So wow, congratulations for winning it. Maybe again, I don't know. Maybe Lodgekeep. I don't know. I feel like I've seen that here.
One for each hand, right?
That's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, you need 2. So congratulations on your Dusty mug here. Please do reach out. Hopefully you're still here. Hopefully you've seen this, and reach out to us on Discord or over social media. So Taylor, pick our next t-shirt winner. Here we go. And the winner of the t-shirt is Brian Goins. Congratulations, you've won a Dusty Wheel t-shirt. So congratulations, Brian and Lodgekeep. Please do reach out to me, like I said, on Discord or on social media after the show. You can find all the links to that in the description of the video down there. So, okay. I see there's still 2 chances left, everyone. Still 2 chances. So Lodge keeps saying those are the first time. Yeah, I don't know why I thought. So congratulations on the first win here for Lodgekeep. Just reach out again on Discord. 2 more. 2 more at the very end. Stick around, and you still have a chance. You never know. Let's bring Brian into the show. Brian, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. So sorry for making you wait so long. Appreciate you being patient. So what are your thoughts about these last couple years and this Wheel of Time TV show?
So I guess so much like everyone else that's called in, we're all afraid of losing our baby,
right?
In this adaptation. And for me, one of the great moments was actually the table read that you showed at the beginning of tonight. And it was Barney Harris coming in with his quip, where I think I may have been at work or something, and I laughed out loud and lost it. It was so unexpected and so brilliant. That was one of those moments where I'm like, this might be okay. This might not be, Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that we should not ever reference,
I understand that feeling. Yeah, that I actually enjoyed that. People brought up they didn't like the whole fireball quip, but I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It made me look forward to the show even more. The table read, beyond the table read, was there anything else that has really kind of like peaked just as much as the table read from stuff that's come out?
Well, so I guess one thing that I've been really curious is how they manage Perrin and his eyes and his relationship, with the wolves later on, and how all of that works and how does that get shown? Because so much of that is just internal dialogue in the books, right?
Yeah, that's a great question,
Yeah.
Joe. How do you hoping they do this, Joe? Have you thought about this and how to?
Yeah. We've had conversations. We actually had the Wheel Weaves on recently, and we were talking to them about it. And we were thinking it's gonna be like the book probably, because a lot of it's imagery, right? Like Perrin's getting flashes of images in the books, and it makes sense on television to do something like that because you can actually see the images. So I think we're going to see a lot of flashing, and we'll probably hear some sort of like a little bit of voiceover, I think, especially like with Hopper. And we were thinking like, is it going to be different in like the regular, the waking world versus Teleran Riyadh? So that's going to be something that I'm interested in finding out, is if they're going to do it differently, depending on where they are. But I definitely think we're going to see flashings of images.
I just hope it's not talking wolves.
Put some
okay, I want to know how everyone feels about that. Would you stop watching the show? Everyone in chat here. Would you stop watching the show if they had talking wolves? Okay, that's what I want to know. Thumbs up if you would stop watching it. Thumbs down if you're like, I don't care. Talking wolves, I can deal with it. I'm moving forward. See, thumbs down. See, you're like, don't do talking wolves, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm kind of curious what would be funny what people do with this one. Thumbs up if you're out of here. I'm out if they do the talking wolves. Thumbs down if no. What do you feel like, Brian? Is there a way that they can screw up the wolves where you would just be totally ticked off? And
I could deal with talking wolves. That's not my make or break it point. If they mess up channeling, if that looks awful, then I might have something to say about that. Talking wolves, yeah, I could get it. Okay, artistic, or I guess plot. The plot requires such a thing. It's fine. I've also been really curious.
CGI
what about
wolves as their mouths are moving.
Their mouths moving.
Yeah,
that's
like
what I mean by talking wolves.
A cartoon
wolf.
Just
a cartoon wolf.
Yeah.
That would kill us all. No cartoon wolves. That would be tough. Daniel Snotty wrote, I'll watch every episode even if they're garbage. Let's be honest. Those people that are sitting in this chat today on phone calls with us, we are on a Monday night talking about a fantasy book we've been reading for decades. It's been made into a television show. We're all watching these episodes.
It'll be almost as fun to talk about how bad it is than how good it is. So I don't mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have drinking games ready for episodes. It'll be great. We're gonna have fun with it no matter what.
Oh yeah, exactly. We're gonna have fun with it no matter what. The cartoon thing would be ridiculous, and it's not gonna happen. So we don't have to go there. But yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm super curious about the world of dreams and how they manage all of that. And as reality bends, how does that get portrayed?
Oh man! Oh, you just brought up.
That could go on for hours.
Sorry,
that's a whole other episode.
You just ruined it. And now I'm concerned. Don't mess up Teleron Riyadh. That's all I'll say.
Are. That's the point.
Don't mess up Teleron Riyadh, please. Oh man. Great question, great thought, Brian. So before I let you go, what's your favorites, or what's the episode you're looking forward to most out of the first 8?
I'm actually really worried, or I'm most looking forward to the first one, the introduction of everything. How do they open up this epic?
Yeah, that will probably determine a lot of people being either turned off to the show or watching it. So I didn't think about it that way. I'm looking forward to 2 just because for myself. But you're right. I want 1 to be amazing because I want new readers and viewers.
It's like, and especially as you read the book, it's like how these characters get introduced, how they enter this world is in some ways even just magical moments, especially, Moiraine and Lan as they come in, and Tom and all these different people. It's, I don't even have words. I don't have words for this.
Oh man, yeah, I know, right? Oh, it's gonna be fun doing this together, everybody. We're gonna live through it together. We're gonna do some watch parties. We're gonna talk about it afterwards. It's gonna be nuts. So, yeah, I agree with you there. No words at this point, Brian. But thank you very much for holding on line and being with us and bringing that question in, and for being a fan and joining us here at the Dusty Wheel, man. Have a good evening, okay?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
You too.
Good night. Yeah, I saw Corey said breathe. I like Tracy had a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up. Yeah, I know. We're all feeling that way. Like, we'd watch it, but we'd probably be bummed by it. Let's get our last caller in here, and then I want to go back to you both and just talk about everything else that we missed, just our fun moments from the last little bit, and we'll call it good here at the Dusty Wheel. Thank you all for being here for this celebration. This has been so much fun. Giving away stuff is just fun, and commemorating this moment of the end of season 1, as far as principal photography, and the beginning of season 2. It's crazy. So let me bring our last caller, who I believe is David, into the show. Welcome, David, to the Dusty Wheel. How you doing?
Hi, can you hear me?
We can. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
I can hear you. I'm by my phone. It's still in the charging thing. I wasn't too sure if it was going to last long enough or not, so I was erring way on the side of caution there. So,
well, good. I'm glad I saw you in chat. I appreciate you, waiting online here to get in. As you can tell, yeah, it takes a while to kind of weave everyone into all these conversations. So you've heard everything up through our discussion so far. What's your takeaway
Well,
from
not
these last
quite
couple
everything. I don't know all the episode titles, so you'll have to fill me in on that.
We can fill you in on the episode titles as we go, but when we get to that, but at the end, we'll bring up the episode titles to you and then let you pick from those. What's your thought about the Wheel of Time TV show so far?
Okay, well, all right. Here's what I think is going to happen, and this is just pure speculation at best. So
Okay.
I think a couple people have called this Labor Day. That's probably a good target. Thursday Night Football. That's another one. My personal prediction: we're going to get a major Black Friday trailer. So
You think so?
Major
Okay.
one.
Oh,
Yes, I'm putting 75% of my bet on Black Friday right there. So
I'm hoping it's out
And
by
then-
Black Friday.
Yeah. Do you mean trailer, or do you mean the show will drop on that day?
No. I think the show being released on Black Friday is too early. I'm
Okay.
thinking either December 3rd or December 11th.
Oh, I got you. You think there'll be another trailer dropped there, and then we'll get like an early December show. Okay.
Yes. That's when Narnia was released, if you remember that movie series. So.
Oh, interesting. So you're saying they did like a Black Friday trailer, and then they released
Well,
it
I don't know exactly when Narnia dropped their trailer, but the first Narnia movie was released in the December season when nothing was around, which makes perfect sense for Wheel of Time to do the same thing. Because as far as I know, there is nothing in the line unless they reschedule Dune to December, which I don't think is going to happen, but there's nothing to my knowledge that is in the December time frame, either major or minor. I haven't heard anything in regards to Disney Plus or HBO Max or any other streaming service.
Okay.
I know about the Expanse show, but I don't think that's going to be like a competition against Wheel of Time. So.
Okay, so you're going for a December release, which still is legit. You know, that feels still within all the kind of time frames we've been talking about. So yeah, I can see it. I think there are a lot of people are like, no, give me it on a holiday weekend so I can enjoy it. But at the same time, I could absolutely see them, wait until December to release it. I don't see any reason why they have to.
Yeah, to your point, they got to give time for the effects crews to do the shots right, because if they do it wrong, Daniel was covering this in one of his other videos. He was talking about this War of the World series off of Stars, and they had these alien robot things that like seek out and kill humans, basically, and they look fake as hell, basically. So if you don't do the effect shots properly, you can lose your audience right there. So.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
on that War of the World series by Stars, I tuned out real quick because basically it was a walking simulator. They're just walking, talking, no death rays, no black smoke, no oolah, which is from the musical. I mean, geez, come on, guys, get some permission to put in some of this stuff. I mean, it's like brain death. I mean.
I like that you're focusing on the quality, and I agree with you. They'll take as long as they need, and so. But I'm missing notes in chat where people are saying not Witcher season 2 at the same time. So I'm assuming that they'll probably
what they definitely, I think what they're going to try and do is learn from Game of Thrones season 8 and not shall we say mess up the work, so to speak. I hope so anyway. So.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see when they decide to announce the release dates. I am assuming both Witcher and the Wheel of Time don't want to release at the same time. They won't want to capitalize.
No. That would be that would be direct head to head. And I don't know Cavill's.
I think there's an even bigger, more direct competition, and that's Amazon's own Lord of the Rings show too. So that's, I think, going to be the most...
when is Lord of the Rings set to premiere? Do you guys know anything about that?
It doesn't have a release date, but I'm pretty sure they finished filming already too. So
yeah, that's an interesting one
too. Lord of the Rings is probably going to be more time investment, would be my guess. Daniel said the budget was like $500 million or some obscene figure or something like that.
Yeah, the amount of money they're spending on it is crazy. That's for sure. Yeah.
And I think they might have been filming the first 2 seasons at once, though.
Oh, okay. So now that makes more sense. They did that with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. They filmed all 3 at once to save money. So yeah. Okay. Now, I can see where it comes from that point of view. So.
Okay, well, what I want to ask you now, David, is the question I've asked everyone. You'll be a last caller to answer this question. We'll give you the episode titles. The first episode is Leave Taking. The second episode is Shadows Waiting. The third episode is A Place of Safety. The fourth episode is The Dragon Reborn. Fifth episode is Blood Calls Blood. The sixth episode is The Flame of Tar-Valon. And we don't know what episodes 7 and 8 are, but for all intents and purposes, news has suggested that around 7 and 8 is when they were filming in Faldara. So which of those episodes, it could be based on title or just based on where they show up in a season, are you looking forward to any of those more than another? Is there one of them that stands out?
I am very interested on the take on Loyal. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So.
Yeah, Loyal. Yep. Yeah. So when he shows up,
they could do that wrong. Yeah, they could do that wrong and mess it up. I'm surprised they didn't do the guy who did the Minotaurs from the Narnia thing. I forget his name, but he did he did all the Minotaurs in Narnia. Apparently, you couldn't see were squat in those costumes, but he did all. He did all of them. So I don't think they're going to do a costume with Loya because that would be too hard. It might be too prohibitive and limit the amount of probable CGI that they're going to do. They probably have got some mocap on him, would be my guess. So
yeah, I wonder, and Loyal, we don't really know which episode he's going to show up in, but yeah, that's a good one to call out. I like that you're kind of focused on kind of what the CGI is going to be and the effects itself. So
yeah, if they do the CGI wrong, they're going to lose viewers right off the bat. So they got to do it right. So that's why I'm thinking December release. So
totally agree with that. Absolutely, it's a great note to end the callers on, which is. Hopefully, and I know they are putting the money in, right? They know they have to get that right.
Yeah, and thank you so much for taking my call. I really appreciate
absolutely.
your time.
Thank you so much for being with us, man. I really appreciate you showing up.
Okay, it was great. Thankfully, the Chargers, like I said,
it worked out.
Plugged into the wall, so
have a good one.
Into the wall, so I couldn't get disconnected. So y'all take care, okay?
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was it. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. We have 2 more giveaways to go here. And we're going to end here. I want to go back to you, Mary. Is there anything else that stands out that you just wanted to bring up? I know you brought up all the social media people have been doing and all of the art and such that people they had dropped. And is there anything else that's standing out to you as just like a great kind of memory or a way that you think about commemorating this time with a specific event?
Yeah, I'd have to say the one thing that just kind of encapsulates the whole experience of being in the Watt fandom leading up to Amazon Prime's show is Steve. Steve. Just
Steve. That's
absolute
right.
Insanity that was Steve, and just getting excited about the show and digging into trying to figure out who it was, and then the Steve episode that we did on the Dusty Wheel, and it was just everybody just kind of latched onto it and just had a great time with it, and I think that's what I like about it is just everybody throughout the whole Twitter of time. On the Facebook side of things, on the Insta side of things, was just having a grand old time with Steve, and still am enjoying Steve, whatever Steve happens to be.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you don't know what we're talking about, Steve, go look up the Steve episode. I just showed the thumbnail. Steve does encapsulate the insanity of the last couple of years. That's good. Is there something that stands out to you like that, Joe, that just encapsulates what we've all just experienced as fans over this time?
Oh wow, there's so much. I guess I'll just kind of combine all of the little teasers that they've actually officially released.
The
wine
first
spring,
looks, right?
Yeah, the wine spring, the audio only one with Egwene and Perrin trying to decipher what the sounds were in the background and what scene could it be, and
right.
The Heron Mark Blade, the Matt, all of them. They're all amazing, and I love seeing them. I still watch them over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm throwing up the this one, the water one that the teaser. Even though the Blade one was really good. This did lead us right when we look at these first looks that you just brought up. We couldn't have ended the evening without talking about the first looks themselves, of course. and this brought about the unblurring, right?
That's right.
So I want to know. I want to know what they were thinking at Amazon about the unblurring. Like I just someday I want to talk with He Who Tweets with the Dawn, somebody at Amazon, to find out like what could they have been thinking about this? Joe, of these, which one was your favorite?
I think the dagger. It was like official confirmation that we were getting Shadow Logoth. I think that image at the very end when everyone was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
Whether the dialogue was from the scene, who he's bargaining with. Then the unblurring that happened after it, because I think that's what set off the unblurring, right? Wasn't it that teaser?
Yeah, I think it was that teaser. Well, I think that's a great question. I can't remember if we did. Did we do that? We did that one before. That's right. I did. I showed the unblurring for that one before Tom, and the Tom one was actually easier. I'm showing the Tom one right now to the viewers. The Tom one was that one was a lot easier than the dagger one. So I think that one did kick it off. And of course we have the LAN one. I wish I had on here. I don't. The Prime Video Germany one would be amazing.
The Trolloc.
But I just have the initial one that we got of Moraine, of course, which was just that simple flash. But if you don't know what we're talking about, you got to go check that one out. The Prime Video Germany dropped one. I mean, the video's out there. Just go look it up. But I will show this trailer as a kind of a nod to Taylor. I want to call out Taylor, because he has done, my son, who's done production on this show for the last almost 2 years. And think about this, twice weekly show, like he is producing. And at the same time, he's throwing together these little clips. Like this trailer of the unblurring was one of my favorites because the Wheel of Time and Amazon Prime account called it the Great Unblurring afterwards. And that will have to, it's living in infamy to me as a fan to have called this the Great Unblurring. It's just hilarious. So yes, I'm seeing people call him out Lad Fear. Yes. We are very grateful for Lad Fear around here at the Dusty Wheel.
His well-turned calves.
And his well-turned calves, yes. If you don't know what we're talking about, maybe you don't want to know what we're talking about. So yes, please raise a glass. I agree, Andrew, to Taylor. What a fantastic job he's done here, helping to bring the Dusty Wheel every week. Really appreciate that. How much fun are those first looks that they've given us? The interaction, I think that maybe that's how we want to end it here before we give away. And we'll do that. We'll do our final giveaways. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Let's do these giveaways and let you all go for the evening. But I want to call that out. Thank you, Wheel of Time and Amazon Prime, for the interaction. He Who Tweets with the Dawn, if you ever hear this, thanks so much, man. That was so much fun. I think it was like many, many months of just fun engagement on Twitter. If you don't follow Wheel of Time on Instagram and Twitter, you should. Just really engaging. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a blast. So yes, thank you very much, Taylor. Thank you very much, Wheel of Time and Amazon Prime. Rafe Q&As and Sarah interactions and leaks were the top 3 answers on Instagram of what people loved from this whole last couple of years. So more Rafe Q&As. Can't wait to have Sarah back. Sarah Nakamura, the Wheel of Time TV consultant. She's amazing, and what a great friend of mine and the show. And of course, all the leaks and all the detective work that Watt Series and crew and Narg and all of those have done. And it's just been a blast. It's been so much fun. So let's do these 2 giveaways, and then I'll give you both a final word, and we'll say goodnight. Good luck, everyone. Here we go. For the final mug of the night, who do we got? Let's give away a Dusty mug. Gnome and Garden has won a Dusty mug. So congratulations. What's so funny is I see everyone's names in chat, so I feel like I've seen them all. Like, did Gnome and Garden win? Like, Lodgekeep. Oh, by the way, Lodgekeep, thank you very much for that tip. I didn't get you in when we had callers, but thank you. Appreciate that. So I appreciate you tipping basically the cost of the mug. Well, you didn't need to do that. So, but I appreciate that very much. So let's Gnome and Garden, please reach out for that mug. Last T-shirt of the night, everyone. Good luck. Here we go. let's see who takes home the last t-shirt. Amerlin Sadai has won the last Wheel of Time or Dusty Wheel t-shirt. So congratulations to all of you. I can't remember all of your names. I'll have to go back and track these later. Please reach out to us over social media or Discord. And I agree. Thank you very much to Corey and also to Delusions for your tips for Taylor. That was very kind of you. We'll make sure that he gets those. To you, Mary, any final thoughts as you encapsulate the last couple years of fandom when it comes to this TV show? Anything you want to say before we end tonight?
I just want to say it's been fun. I hope it will continue to be fun. And here is to the next couple years of geeking out with all of our friends at the Dusty Wheel.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you very much. And to you, Joe, do you have any final thoughts that encapsulates your experiences over the last couple of years?
Oh, wow. It's been amazing. I mean, we've been almost doing the podcast it's been about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And it's just like meeting all the people, you and Mary and like all the other people in the community, the other content creators has been amazing. Talking about the show, following it obsessively, like, I don't know, strung out addicts.
Yes, exactly.
It's been great. It's been fun. Filming is done with season 1, but that doesn't mean it's over. We've still got to watch the show.
Oh man!
And I'm already thinking about season 2 now that filming's done with season 1. I'm like, all right, who are they going to be casting? Well, we got to get some casting leaks soon. Who's going to be in season 2? Who are these new characters going to be? So it's just like, let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. Oh yeah, exactly. We haven't been here this long to not just keep going, because we're the best parts are coming, right? Like all of this working up to this moment, the best parts are still ahead of us.
We're guaranteed at least 2 years of this.
Right? yeah. Yes. Expect us to be here for the next 2 years. All of us. Please go follow. I almost said a Ron Talk on Twitter of Time. But please go check out Talk-A-Ron-Riad's podcast. They do a live show every Friday, basically on Discord, and you can download it at any place you download podcasts. I don't have that kind of, I don't know how to say that, but yes, wherever you get your podcasts, download Talk-A-Ron-Riad. They're so much fun. Jen, Tom, and Joe do a great job of covering all the news from the Wheel of Time TV show, and I love it. So thank you very much for being here, Joe and Mary. This was a blast. What a blast. And thank you those that are watching us. If you want to jump over to Discord after this, we do an after show. That's right. We keep this conversation going. Like I said, we're all watching these shows no matter what the quality is, because we're totally huge geeks. So join us over there on Discord if you'd like to afterwards, and be back here Wednesday. We're talking about Rosamund Pike and becoming Moiraine. Can't wait for that one. Good night from the Dusty Wheel, and as we say around here, smash to black. Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you, you're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well. And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the 2 rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Jess complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not white.
I see Laconia as something along the lines of a Shada Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge! Yay!
Carol's like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all of a sudden,
this is not just a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
and
elements.
Just a moment ago, Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me, and probably I would say put in 70-80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no.